Okay, you guys, I wanted to try to answer some questions on the clear decals and the clear printed vinyl that we offer now at Zindee.com. Okay, so if you're familiar with our regular printed adhesive vinyl, this is just like it, except it's on a completely clear material. So the glue is clear, everything. So here is an example of one of the decals, which if you pull the back, you can kind of see is all clear, except the only thing you see is the actual print. Okay, some details about this stuff. It's permanent, it's waterproof, you don't have to seal it. You can place it on pretty much any hard flat surface. So pretty much anywhere you can put regular vinyl, you can put this stuff. You don't have to do anything special to it. You don't have to seal it, anything like that. And you can use regular transfer tape to lift it and apply it. And then you can run it through your cutter just like normal printed vinyl. Same thing, nothing special. The only difference is that it's completely clear. Now, the fact that it's completely clear gives you some really cool options of what you can do with it. Okay, so let me show you some things you can do. So here is an example of one of the decals, and this is just put onto holographic glitter, transparent glitter vinyl. Okay, so you can kind of see, it's super cool. It looks a lot like a water slide, except you don't have to do all those special things that you have to do with water slide. So there's an example of that. This is a sort of sweet, sort of savage decal put on the pink transparent glitter adhesive. And this is the same decal put on the silver holographic glitter adhesive, the transparent glitter adhesive. So you can kind of see the difference. One of the things to be aware of with the clear vinyl and the clear decals is that they work best on light colored surfaces. So white or very light colored surfaces work best. The ones that are all black, it doesn't really matter. It'll show up well pretty much on any color, but something like this, if you put it on a darker color, you're not going to see it as well as you would on white or a light colored surface. So that's one of the things to be aware of. With the clear decals, you want white or light colored surfaces for the boldest look, if that makes sense. But the black ones you can kind of put on anything and it works. Okay, so there's some examples of that on the adhesive vinyl. And what it does is it makes it glittery too when you put it on there, because you can see completely through it. Even the printed part will be glittery because the whole thing is transparent, not just the area around it, okay? So here is an example of a piece of a sheet of it. So whenever you would buy this, you could buy 12 by 12, 6 by 6, 8.5 by 11, or even larger, like 12 by 24, 12 by 36. So just like the regular printed adhesive vinyl on Zindee, now in the drop down you'll see an option for the clear adhesive vinyl, and this is made by Oralful. So this is Oracle vinyl, amazing quality. I absolutely love it. So see if you can see how it's completely clear, just the print shows through. And then to kind of give you an example, this is this vinyl just applied to the transparent glitter adhesive. So for your keychains or for your tumblers or anything like that, if you want to fully glitter your tumbler and then put this clear print over it, you can totally do that and you'll see your glitter through. Or for keychains, say you want a glittery leopard print, so you can put regular glitter or the glitter vinyl, and then you can put a leopard print clear vinyl over it and it'll make it super sparkly. So hopefully that makes, oh yes, I have an example. I thought so. See, this is the clear adhesive vinyl, and this is over gold transparent glitter. So let me see if I can lift that up. See, this is, oh sorry, silver transparent glitter. So this is the back of it. You can kind of see the print through, and then that's the front, and you can see that it's all sparkly. It's super, super amazing. It looks really cool wrapped around tumbler cups that are fully glittered. And then it's amazing, amazing for the keychains. And then as a decal, it's super awesome. Okay, so let's talk about using it as a decal. All right, so we have tons of prints on the website. They look like this, and they come in 3 different sizes. So you can get 1.25 inches, which is good for phone grips. or the minis or the 2-inch acrylics, you want to do 1.25-inch decals. And then we also have 2.5-inch decals, which are good for 3-inch circles or 3-inch squares. Okay, let me show you some examples of that. So this is a 2.5-inch, and let me put it against something white so you can see. And then this one is just straight on a clear acrylic, the Antisaurus. Okay, so there's that. And then let me show you the different sizes. As far as sizing, that's probably one of our biggest questions of what size do I need. So 1.25-inch for foam grips, mini circles, mini squares, or 2-inch circles or squares. And then you got 2.5-inch, which are good for 3-inch circles or 3-inch squares. And then you got 3.25-inch, which is the size you would want for tumblers. You can use 2.5-inch for tumblers also, but 3.25-inch is a much better size for tumblers unless it's a small tumbler. Okay, so let me show you. Okay, so here's some examples. See, that's a 1.25. This is a 2.5. And this is a 3.25 to kind of show you the difference in size. Same with this one, 1.25, 2.5, 3.25. Okay, now, one thing to be aware of is whenever you're trying to do keychains with the 2.5-inch decals, not all of them will fit on the circle, okay? But all of them will fit on the square. Just because, as you can see, the circle and square next to each other, you have more surface area on the square than you do the circle. And some of the decals need that extra little space to finish. Okay, so like this one, you're good because it's more of a circle shape. But say, let me find a square one. Like this one. This is a 2.5. And you probably can get it to fit, but barely. So this one would do better on a square like that. That way you have plenty of space. So that's one thing to be aware of when you're doing these. If you're wanting to put them on acrylics, most of them will fit on a 3-inch circle, no problem. But all of them will fit on a 3-inch square. So there you go with that. See, sort of sweet, sort of savage. This one's more of a square shape, which it'll fit, but you might have to cut off a little bitty part of the S, if that makes sense. But if it's on the square, no problem. So just something to be aware of when you're doing the decals. Okay, let me show you how to actually do it and the different looks you can get. Okay, so this one. This is the Go Sit on the Cactus image on a white acrylic. Now, the best way to get it where the edges completely disappear and you can't see the edges at all on the acrylic is to do a layer of resin or a layer of glitter and resin first, then your decal, and then finish it off with resin, UV resin, epoxy, doesn't matter, crystal-lac, doesn't matter. That way the decal is kind of encased in 2 layers of resin, and then it'll completely disappear where you don't see any edges or anything like that. To kind of show you what I mean is this foam grip is the decal straight on the foam grip, and then it's the decal, and then a layer of UV resin, which if you look close, you can kind of see the edge of the clear. It's not super obvious, but in certain lights you can see it. The reason why you can see it is because I did not put a layer of resin first. So I did this one kind of as an example so you can kind of compare and contrast the 2 options, okay? So this one is straight on the foam grip, no resin first, and then finished with UV resin. This one is a layer of UV resin first, then the decal, and then finish with UV resin. So you can see the difference. You can't see the edge of this one at all. It completely disappears, which is an awesome, awesome look and my preference. So just so you have an idea. So that's that. Okay, and then this one is glitter and UV resin mixed on a white acrylic. There's a white acrylic. You can use clear too. It doesn't have to be white. So glitter and UV resin mixed, then the decal, and then finish with UV resin, which, see this one? This is the same decal as this one, but you can't see the edge at all on this one like you can on this. Okay? And then last but not least, this is a decal which is put straight on clear acrylic. I didn't put UV resin or anything first, and I just finished it with UV resin. Because it's straight on the clear, you really can't see the edge at all. See if I can move it around so you can see. You really can't see the edge at all. So this is a really cool option too. And then of course on the back, we could always add something. We could add glitter, we could add vinyl. It's totally up to you what you want to do with it. Okay, so hopefully that shows you some options. Oh, and then this one is just a little test that I did just so you can see what a decal looks like on a darker color. Some decals will work better on a darker color than others, but in general it's best to do white or a very light color background. Okay, so let's go ahead and make one, and then you'll have an even better idea of how the heck this stuff works. Okay, so here's several of our options. I don't know which one I'm going to do. Maybe the thick thigh life. Or we can go simple. Let's do a heart. Valentine's Day is coming up. Let's do a heart. Okay, so we're going to do this heart, and we're going to do it. Let's do it on a clear circle so you can kind of see. I don't really have an example of that one glittered, so let's use that. Okay, so what we're going to do for this one is I'm going to mix glitter and UV resin on one side, and then on the other, we are going to put the decal and show y'all how that works. Okay, we're going to remove the protective paper. Get a little mixing cup. This is a cute little silicone cup that came with this UV resin I'm going to use in this video. Mandy over at Resin Rock sent us this to try out, and actually I really like it. So if y'all are looking for a new resin to try, we're actually really enjoying this one. So this is from Mandy at Resin Rocks. All right, so, and then the glitter we're going to use today is Marshmallow Cream. It is like the most popular white glitter, and you will see why shortly. Okay, so we're going to put some UV. And normally I don't mix my glitter and resin. I tend to be a fan of the decoupage method, but for this one we're going to mix it. Marshmallow cream does really well mixed too, so it works out. So all we're doing is mixing our UV resin with some glitter. And we're going to put that on our blank. And we're going to spread that out. All right, so after you have your layer of resin and glitter on your blank, you just want to look at it from several angles, make sure you didn't miss anything. And we're going to take our torch and get any bubbles out. You normally can see them pop pretty easily. One of the big things with resin, with UV resin, not necessarily epoxy resin, but UV resin is micro bubbles are super common. So it's a good idea to not put it under your light right away. So you hit it with your torch, wait a couple minutes, give the bubbles some time to go to the top, which I see a few coming up, and then we're gonna torch it a couple times. That will help a ton if you find yourself having micro bubbles a lot. And just good at it, like definitely get in the habit of looking at it in different angles. That will help you so much to see things that you might miss otherwise. All right, so we got that torched. We're gonna put all of this stuff under our light so that we can touch that instead of our actual acrylic to know when it's actually fully cured. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cure this at 60 seconds 3 times, so 3 minutes. And then this particular light is a 24 watt or 48 watt light. So I have it set on 48 watts and we're gonna do it for 3 minutes. Okay, so that's been 3 minutes. We're gonna move that out of the way. And then we're gonna actually check the brush before we touch our acrylic to make sure it's done. And this is done, see? And you can tell too in the cup. If this was still sticky or anything like that, you'd want to leave it in the light more. But this is good to go. Cup's clean. All right, so that means our acrylic is ready to go. Now, from here, we can put the decal on this side or we can put it on this side. And let's put it on the other side just cause, why not? I do tend to like glitter on one side and the decal or any decoration on the other, just because it gives it more of a 3-dimensional look rather than it being kind of flat all on one side. So there's that. That's what that side looks like. And here's this side. So we're gonna put that there. Okay, so we're gonna take our decal, and this is what you wanna do. Anytime you're working with these clear decals, you just wanna loosely cut around the edge. The reason why you're gonna do that is just it helps it blend in better where you don't see those edges. And this does not have to be perfect at all. You just wanna kinda go around the general shape like that, okay? And then you also want to use transfer tape for these. You'll get a much better outcome if you use transfer tape rather than just lifting it and sticking it. All right, so we're gonna get this transfer tape. This transfer tape is very similar to the one on our site, the Caesar. This one just doesn't have the grid lines on it. Okay, anytime you apply your transfer tape, you wanna kind of bend it in the middle, let that middle touch first and roll it down. You're gonna get your squeegee and burnish it. From the center out is usually best. I'm gonna lift that up. And actually, I'm gonna cut some of this extra off because we don't need all of that. All right, move that aside. We're gonna bring our acrylic back over here. Okay, and we're gonna roll the backing off of this decal. It's always a good idea to pull your backing away from your decal, not your decal away from your backing. That also helps with bubbles and all of that stuff. Okay, so we're gonna turn this over, get our acrylic lined up, and we're gonna put that on there like so. Burnish. And then we're gonna roll this down. Now, at this point, you could totally leave this as is. Okay, there's nothing special you have to do to this. It's done. But I like the look of it being under resin. But it's totally, like I said, up to you what kind of look you want to go for. So for this one, we're going to go ahead and resin it and put it back in our light. Okay, so we're going to take our UV resin. And you can use epoxy, you can use crystalac, or you can just leave it like it is. We're going to just put our resin on there. If you find that the edges of your acrylic after you cure it doesn't have resin on it, it usually means that you're not putting enough resin. UV resin shrinks when it's in the light. So what'll happen is it'll look like you have enough, and then once you cure it, it actually shrinks away from the edges. That's why a lot of times the vinyl lifts or anything like that is because a lot of times you're just working too fast and just need a little more resin. All right. And just some helpful tips on UV resin. Take your time, put the resin in the middle, and then pull it to the sides. So when you're pouring your resin on, don't go straight to the edges. Like stay in the middle and then you're just gonna pull it to the side. Also, if you're using decoupage or Mod Podge, you wanna make sure that is completely dry before you put your resin on. Because if it's not, and you put your resin on, not really epoxy resin, but UV resin, if you put that on Mod Podge or decoupage that's not fully dry, what it'll do is it'll shrink and it'll pull up off of your acrylic. So that's one thing to be aware of too. So hopefully that might help or fix some issues in the future. So we're just gonna hit it with our torch to get any bubbles out. And then again, look at it from several angles. A lot of times you can't see the bubbles from one angle, but you can from another. And also check your edges, you know, make sure you got it all, because in some from some directions it's going to look completely done, and then from others you're going to see a big old missing spot, which is not fun at all. If that does happen though, you can sand it down a little bit and just put another layer. All right, so that looks good. So we're going to cure this for 3 minutes again. All right, so that is done. Again, we're going to check the brush first to make sure we're good. There's nothing worse than a big old fingerprint in your acrylic. And we are good to go. So here's that. Kind of give you an idea. Super pretty. And see how you can see the glitter through the decal. So there's the back. There's the front. So hopefully that answers some questions on these clear decals. Let me just go over it one more time. See if there's any questions that I might think of now that I didn't answer in the beginning. Okay, so clear decals, they will come like this, just on a square. And before you apply it, you want to loosely cut around it before you put it on your item. You can put it on any hard, flat surface. They're waterproof. You don't have to do anything special. I do recommend transfer tape just to get the best application. But again, they are amazing for tumblers. They're amazing for keychains if you want to get that water slide look without actually using water slide. On the website, www.zindee.com, you have the option to order all of these images that I showed you here. We have a ton of other ones that I don't have in this video. And then in addition, there is a custom option. So if you have an image, a photo, something that you want printed on the clear vinyl as a clear decal, you can totally upload that and we'll print it for you. You just have to have rights to the image. We don't print anything trademark, copyright, anything like that. And then in addition to that, all of our prints, like every print on the website, can be ordered in the clear vinyl. So you can order as regular printed vinyl, or you can order it in the clear vinyl to put it over glitter, to put a pattern, say, on the back of your acrylic. And then you can do your acrylic on the front. Totally up to you. Again, sizes 3.25 inches for tumbler cups, 2.5 inches for 3-inch circles and squares, and then 1.25 inches for foam grips, which we do have foam grips on the website also. And these are made where you can actually take off this top part if you don't want to worry about getting the rest dirty. And I think that's it, you guys. Oh, and one more thing, these particular decals, like say for instance the mama bear, okay, we get this question a lot. This is not sized to fit our 3-inch bear acrylic. So these are just going to be sized based on the size you choose. So 3.25, 2.5, or 1.25 inches. With that said, we are going to be adding a whole line of the decals that are actually specifically sized for the blanks. So just keep an eye out on that. We'll be posting that on the website soon, and those will be completely contour cut so that you can just literally apply transfer tape and put it on your blank, ready to go. Those will be available in both the clear vinyl and our white printed vinyl. So if you want to put it on a black acrylic or a car or whatever like that, you can do that too. So I hope this was helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.